Hi everyone, good morning. It's Rose Coleman coming to you live from my craft room here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. It is January 30th, 2024, and it is a beautiful day, shaping up to be a really nice day here. How are you doing? Oh boy, what a day yesterday. What a day. I conquered the day yesterday. I got everything ready for the BOGO sale. If you don't know what that means, and you live in Canada, I'm sorry, it's the Stampin' Up rule. I can only do business with people in my own country. That is the way it is in Stampin' Up business. So if you're a Canadian, I invite you to join my online BOGO sale. BOGO, buy one, get one. If you haven't yet requested to be in the group, I did post it here on my Stamping with Rose up at the top in the featured section of this page. You can go over there, and as soon as I'm done this video, I will accept you in if you're not already in there. And all of that stuff that I've uploaded to that private group in the albums is yours completely free in exchange for your order. So no, I have not lost my mind, but I do need to make room in my craft room for some new and upcoming things so that I can keep going in my business. And these are gently used, very loved. I have loved all of these products, but it's time to pass them on to someone else who can now enjoy them. So they are all yours for free in exchange for your order. Now there is a link at the top of the group where you have to go to click on. There is a host code attached, right? So all of the orders coming through with BOGO have a host code that need to be used. And then once you're done your shopping, you tally up how much you've said sold. You go into the albums and you comment sold, okay? And then you go out and you come and you go to my store and you place your order, and then I will package up all of those items for you. If you live in the Calgary area, you can pick up at my front door. If you're anywhere else across the country, it is a $20 prepaid shipping box. So that's paid by e-transfer. So you can e-transfer me your $20 and I'll go get your box and I'll pack up all your free goodies. It's like Christmas. I love packing those boxes and send them off to you as my thank you for participating in the BOGO. And I'm doing it intentionally during celebrations so that you can get free stuff from me and free stuff from Stampin' Up, right? In exchange for your order. So it's a win-win this week, you guys. Actually, it's not a whole week. It starts today, Tuesday, January 30th, and I'm going to keep the BOGO open until midnight on Thursday. So that's it. February 1st at midnight, I will close it down, and hopefully everything will be gone. I'll send all the free stuff to you guys. So I just wanted to mention that. So that was yesterday. I got everything ready to go, and it's all loaded. And also yesterday, I had the pleasure of meeting with some lovely ladies for my I Love Stamping event last night. I'll be doing another one the last Monday of February. I think it's the 24th of February. So if you missed that one and you still would like to come and check it out and get your questions answered, it was so lovely to meet with the ladies on Zoom and answer their questions about joining the Stampin' Up family. And there's no silly questions. And every time they asked a question, I put their name in the draw. I don't have my prize bucket here. I put it away, I guess, for a gift. And one lovely lady won a kit, an all-exclusive stamping kit, and she also won a really fancy notebook that I have decorated up for her. So it was fun. It was really fun to join them. It was just an hour, so it doesn't take up a lot of your time, but you can get all your questions answered. So that was I Love Stamping Night. I hope those ladies do click the link that I sent them and join my team. I will be so excited to see that email come through. All right, that was yesterday. Today is Tuesday, and I have a really pretty card to share with you today. I was inspired by Rhonda Wade's online creative convention for this one, and I love it so much. I'm making it exactly as she taught us. So let's put my coffee down and let's get started on this fun card. Thank you all for joining me. Hi, Pam. You're supposed to get up to 68 today in sunny St. George, Utah. You live in St. George? Oh my goodness, that place is near and dear to my heart because that's where Founders Circle happened. And for 2 years in a row, 2014 and 2015, I was so privileged and so blessed to be able to go there for the Founders Circle retreat when they had those. They don't do them anymore, but oh my goodness, I got a taste of St. George, and you live in a fantastic place, let me tell you. Would love to be a part of your BOGO. Okay, well then you have to go to my private Facebook group. There's a link here at the top. I sent it out in an email as well, Krista. I'm not sure if you got the email. I sent another reminder email with the link to the Facebook group. It's just Stamping with Rose Online BOGO. You could probably find it just by searching, but I'll definitely, hopefully you can find that. If not, after the video, I will get you hooked up. And you can come in and check out the albums and see what you can get for absolutely free. I had one lady shop twice already. So you know, and it's all free. Yep, it's all free. It is not, you're not hearing things. It's everything that you see, and they're not regular prices. Like usually BOGO, it's regular price. So if it's a $50 order or $50 product, you place a $50 order and you get it. I actually marked some of my things down. So the BOGO price is actually cheaper than the catalog price, right? A lot of things. There's punches, there's lots and lots of bundles with dies and stamps. I'm gonna be sad actually to say goodbye to these things because some of them I have loved for so long, right? And it's like, okay, it's time to move on now and make room for some new things. Out with, you know, and not out with the old, but you get it, right? I can't possibly house everything here in my house as much as I'd love to for the last 22 years. It's time. I do have to change out some things, and you participating in my BOGO helps me do that. So thank you in advance. All right, let's get started. We're gonna flip the camera and make another pretty perennial lavender card today. I love this product suite. Yesterday was Monday. I played with the Global Design Project Challenge, and I also shared all of the beautiful designer series paper in this suite. Oh my goodness. I'm going to play with this pattern right here today. I'm just reaching for some thick white cardstock. So thick white cardstock is like, I love thick white for, I'll move my camera over here. Okay, now you can see my hands, I think. Thick white cardstock is great for making card bases. They stand up nicely on your mantle. They don't collapse, if you know what I mean. It's a strong card base. Let's see here. Joy, that's me. Hi, Marie. Hello, everyone that's joining. Hello, Joan. Good to see you with us. Wow, so nice to have you all join us. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Ethel. Hello, Christine from Winnipeg. Good morning. Okay, so for this card, we are going to start with our thick white cardstock. We're going to cut it in half, and when you cut your cardstock in half at the 5.5 inch mark, you're going to get 2 pieces, and then you can make 2 cards. Pop that back in the trimmer and line it up at 4 1/4, and we're going to use my light gray scoring tool and score in the middle. There's my card base, and I'm just going to reinforce that score line so that everything sits flat. All right, now, what else do we need? We need a piece of crumb cake cardstock. We're going to build this up from the back. So we've got our card base of basic white. We've got crumb cake here. We're going to cut a piece that measures 3 3/4 by 5 inches. 5 inches right here. And we're going to emboss this piece with something from Celebration. This bundle right here, oh my goodness. If you spend $120 right now during Celebration, you can qualify to get this amazing bundle. The Softly Sophisticated stamp set, as well as it's paired with the Softly Sophisticated 3D embossing folder. This folder is my go-to. It is my favorite folder that I have right now. I've been using it a lot. And we're going to bring that in and pop the crumb cake cardstock inside. The folders have a line at the top up here, so I'm just going to line that up because it has a pattern that you don't want to have crooked, right? You're going to want this to be straight. So use the line on the folder to line up the edge of your cardstock and then close up your folder like that. Hold it tight in your hand, and then you can grab your machine. And hi, Joan from Washington State. Good to have you with me. Here is my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Now this is the big folder, like the normal size folder, so I will need to use my Big Boss for this. And my platform. Okay, so because it's a 3D folder, we're going to use platform number 1 and only platform or plate number 4. That's all you need for this one, because the other ones will not work. Okay, so if you try to layer any of these with it, it'll be too tight. And if that ever happens and you forget how to layer and you get pressure, like if you're trying to go through the machine and you're like, oh, that's too hard, don't force it. Don't force it. You could break something. So it definitely takes, is worth taking the extra minute to look on your folder and see what it is you need. And there's a cheat sheet right on here on platform number 1. It'll tell you down here, see, using with 3D embossing folders. So just the folder and your number 4 plate, right? So this has a number 4 on it. So that's all you need, and your number 1 platform. So that's just a little bit of a lesson, I guess, in the plates and the sandwiches. There's the folder. Look at the texture, guys. I'm just going to let the camera focus in on that. That is amazing. I love this folder. Isn't that beautiful? So gorgeous. Okay, this is going to go onto our card front, but first we need a layer of Highland Heather to go behind it. We're going to pop that up with a layer of Highland Heather, 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So we're going to pop in our trimmer here, 3 7/8, like this, by 5 1/8 of an inch. That's 2 tick marks past the 5 inch. So 5 1/8 by 3 7/8, and we're going to put that on here, and you can just see that nice little soft touch of Highland Heather coming all the way around the edges. Becky says she just got that folder. Yeah, Becky, you know what? You're going to love it. You're going to love it, I bet. It's so pretty. Okay, so this is going on here. We're going to grab our liquid glue and add some glue to the back, and we're going to put that onto the Highland Heather first. And I'm just going to go slow here and make sure I get that nice tiny little border all the way around. Tiny, but it stands out. And make sure you got a little bit of wiggle room with your liquid glue here. I want to make sure all 4 sides are showing. There we go. Flip that over. We're going to add glue to the back of the Highland Heather. And that's going to go right onto my basic white card base. Oh my goodness. This is pretty enough, isn't it? Oh, but we're not done yet. Okay, so there we go. We've got that. Now we're going to bring in the designer series paper. This piece right here with the nice subtle image on it. You like the tiny border, Joyce? I do too. Yeah, it's so fun to have a nice subtle border. So we're going to cut this 3 3/4 of an inch by 2. So let's pop this in at 3 3/4. I want my lavenders to be going up and down like this. So 3 3/4. I'm using the top notches of my paper cutter, and then I'm also looking at the bottom and lining it up to make sure I've got the paper in the trimmer straight. So cut that strip. Turn your paper and cut it at 2 inches. So you're going to get 6 of these pieces if you want to make 6 cards. So this is what I'm going to do, because I'm going to be sending these to you. When you place your minimum $60 order and you use my weekly code, you're going to get like packages from me. This isn't the weekly code. This one is not the BOGO code. This is the code for if you're watching my videos this week and you like the cards that I've made. I'll send you these cut pieces for your own purpose, so you can actually sit down and make these cards. You will need the stamps to do it though. Okay, so this DSP is going to go onto the card right across the middle. Make sure your flowers are pointing in the right direction. You don't want to put upside down flowers on there. And then we're just going to move my trimmer off to the side. We're just doing this step by step here. Oh, that's pretty too, isn't it? I love all the patterns of this perennial lavender paper. It's so beautiful. Okay, so we're putting this DSP right here. Now you could do this with any of the DSP, any of the designs. Pick your favorite pattern, right? Pick your favorite pattern. Okay, so make sure that sticks. And you can use quite a bit of glue, because we're sticking this to something that's embossed, and those bumps, you're going to need a little bit of glue to make sure that that's anchored down good, because it kind of want to sit on the top of the embossing folder. So you can be really liberal with your glue on this one. Not too much. You don't want to like it oozing out or anything, but give it a second to set up. Okay, so now we're going to die cut a label with basic white cardstock. We're going to be using Perennial Postage. Oh my goodness, you guys. This stamp set is just totally amazing. Sad I'm not sending to Denmark. Aw, thank you, Marie. Sorry, I've read your name wrong there. I appreciate you watching my video and commenting. Thank you for being here with us. Perennial Postage dies. These are amazing, you guys. They are all, look at these. You can layer them together. You get the hole punch here. It's not a punch, it's a die. You also get this style here if you want to feed ribbon through. Look at this one. It's like a little postage mark. Oh my goodness, so pretty. Okay, so we're going to die cut a label from basic white cardstock with the Perennial Postage dies. And the one that I want to use is this one right here. Okay, so I'm going to hold my card up. This is what I do a lot when I'm designing. I'll take the die and I'll put it onto the card base and see how does it fit? Does it look good? And then if I like it, then I cut it, right? Okay, so we'll put that off to the side. We're going to grab some basic white and we're going to cut this die. Got some scrap here, this piece. We're going to just trim that and we'll run that through. And let's see, there's another little, I like to do all my die cutting at the same time if I possibly can. Okay, so we need this one. We also need from the Painted Lavender, we're going to bring these gorgeous images in. We're going to need, oops, let's see, I'll move all these out here. These are just some extras from yesterday. I tend to put them back into my case. So I don't need this one. I'm going to need this one right here. I'm going to need this one. I love this die. This die cuts out two stems. Do you see one going that way and one going that way? Love it. It does double duty for us. So I need two of those. And I'm also going to need this stem over here. So we're going to do some stamping. Will that work right there? Look at that. That's just going to work just fine. Okay, so that one's going to go there. I'm going to need another little bit of cardstock for this bloom. So let's grab my stamps. I'm going to need this one here. We're going to need this one right here. And I think that's it. That's it from this stamp set. Okay, so let's grab some blocks and get these on before they go missing. Get stuck to something that they're not supposed to. That's happened. Does that ever happen to you? Okay, so this one here, we're going to stamp this stem in crumb cake. So we'll grab some crumb cake ink, and we're also going to need Highland Heather ink. So let me grab my Highland Heather. Highland Heather, there we go. And let's do some stamping. So I'm going to tap, tap on my crumb cake. We'll stamp that one up here because there's room. There's crumb cake stem. And then that little guy is going to go right on top. And I definitely want to anchor that one down with something because that's going to move for sure. I got a little strip of washi here. I'm just going to put that right over top. There we go. So that's going to go through the machine. And then we're going to do this one here. We're going to do with Highland Heather. Yes, some Highland Heather. I have some scrap. Let's see, does this one? Ooh, not quite. Okay, let's grab another scrap. Save all your pieces, guys, because you can use them for die cutting, right? So we're going to just grab this one. And let me see, we're done with the crumb cake. We're going to stamp this one right here with, let's see, we're going to stamp with Highland Heather. And we're going to do it double duty. Okay, we need the other one as well. There's two stamps that go together. I like to layer them. So there's that one, and then there's this other smaller detailed one. We're going to grab that one, put it on a block. Okay, and we're going to use Highland Heather ink. Open up the ink pad, and we're going to stamp the background. Move these off. These are ready to go on the machine. Okay, so I'm stamping the background, and I'm going to stamp it on my glass mat right here. We're going to do second generation, and you don't need to use grid paper. You can use your glass mat. So I'm going to stamp once on the glass mat, and then we're going to stamp a second time onto my paper. Just gives a lighter image. And then the other smaller detailed stamp, I'm going to stamp right onto the ink pad, and we're going to go in with full strength ink right over top. Just like that. So you get like a little bit of a two-tone effect. And then this is going to sit. Make sure you do it in the right direction, like so. Anchor that down, and we can trim this up to make it smaller. We don't need to waste all that white cardstock going through. There we go. And this is on my glass mat, so you want to make sure you get this cleaned up because it doesn't dry, right? It'll sit there. So I'm going to use my cloth, which comes in your starter kit when you choose the Glass Mat Studio. You get the chamois cloth, you get the glass mat, and you also get the beautiful, where is mine? Oops, it's here. My silicone mat. I was showing it to the ladies last night. It's usually right here on my desk. All right, it's here. Oh, here it is. Here it is. It was sitting on my shelf under the chamois. This here also comes with your studio. It's so great for putting your dies and little pieces in. You can mix colors in here. Lots and lots of fun. So you get the chamois cloth, the silicone mat, and the glass mat. Okay, so that comes in the starter kit. All right, so we're going to go ahead, bring that machine back in. And we're going to close the ink pad. Definitely want to close the ink pad. All right, layering for cutting. We need platform number 1, platform number 2, platform number 3 that we're going to be cutting down into. And we're going to put all of our pieces on here now. So this one, this is the easy part, loading her up. And then like this. You know, the wheels are right here on the machine, right? Let me just raise up a little tiny bit. So the wheels are right here on this center part of the machine. And when things enter the machine, they hit this pressure point, and that's what forces the pressure down onto the dies that will cut the cardstock. So the reason I'm mentioning this is because sometimes if I were to put a die that is straight like this into the wheels flat, for some reason it doesn't like cutting that way, but it loves it when you tilt it and go in on an angle. Okay, so that's just a little tip that I learned just by playing with this machine, that if you go in on an angle, now like this one here is straight. I hope that works. Let's test my theory. I don't want it to not work, but I should have really turned that, but we're going to go ahead with it. But like if you're doing like a large rectangle and you're having trouble with the edge of the rectangle not cutting, try it again by just turning it and putting the corner of the rectangle into the wheels first. That's just a little tip. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. We've got our background piece. Oh yeah, the little stem, it cut no problem. And put everything back. We've got this awesome little bloom here. Put my die back. And then this one cuts out, they're both on my platform, these two little long Highland Heather blooms. Okay, so there we go. We've got all the pretty pieces. And we're going to grab, let's see, we need a stamp. Now these two bundles come in the suite, right? So you have Perennial Postage with the greetings, and then you have the painted lavender, right, with all the images. So it is like, this is why I really think you need the entire suite, because you're going to get the paper, the two bundles, you're going to get the bling, you'll have it all, right? And you'll be able to do so much creative things with all of these products. So from this bundle here, I'm going to pull in the greeting that says big hugs, right? Because who doesn't love to get a card that says big hugs? We're going to get that onto a block. I'm just going to use a small one, my little A block here, and pick that up. And we're going to stamp with lavender. Highland Heather. I got lavender on my brain. So we're going to stamp with Highland Heather, and we're going to stamp that onto my label that I just cut out. So tap, tap, tap. Stamp down in the lower right corner of our label, just like that. And then we're going to put together this fun, pretty little bloom. All right, so let's grab my silicone mat, and we'll get all of these little pieces in here. sometimes if dust ends up on my silicone mat, I like to take a baby wipe, or if there's glue on it, I like to clean this up. I'm a little bit OCD about that glue on my silicone mat. I like a nice clean silicone mat. Okay, so there's my silicone mat. Just tidied that up a little bit. We're going to glue these pieces together. So we've got this one here is going to be in the background. We're going to glue it right here like this. And just positioning things the way I want them to look on my card. So I'm going to do this and this, and then the stem. So maybe what we'll do is we'll put these in the background and put the stem. Yeah, see, that's why you should place things out, right? Lay it all out to see how you want it to look. So I'm going to flip this over and let's see. I want to see, I'm trying to think if I should put this on dimensionals. I think I'm just going to glue it all flat. Okay, so we're going to just flip all these over, and then I think I'll put the rectangle on with dimensionals. So just add some glue, and like, you don't have to worry about the skinny parts. I actually want the stem of this to be free. It just looks more realistic. You don't need to glue all the parts of it down, right? So pick up each of these, and we're just going to kind of put them on an angle like so. Whoops, like that. And then we'll put the other one like, whoops, flip it around so the glue's pointing in the right spot. Put that one like that. And then we'll take this big bloom and we'll put it right here. Love it. And then last but not least, we'll bring in this one. And I got a lot of glue on that, probably more than I needed. We'll just put this one in front like so. And you can trim it. It doesn't have to be this long if you don't want it to, right? You've got snips, you can totally trim it. I'm just gonna come in here and snip. I want all my stems to be about the same length. All right, so there we have it. And if you want to round the corners of this stem, if I made it shorter, you could do that, make it look realistic. Okay, so there's my front. Now I've got a little extra glue. If you've got your silicone mat, you can just tip it over and flip it over and tap it onto your silicone mat, and then that excess glue will end up on the mat. Okay, so there's my greeting with the big hugs and my stems. And we're going to use dimensionals to put this onto the card. Look, I'm making, you can see the mess on my silicone mat, but that's where I want it. I don't want it on my card base. Okay, so I was telling my friend yesterday how I have all these minis, and you can use mini dimensionals on big pieces. They are totally strong. They are quite capable of holding up your card. So I'm going to bring in my minis and start using them because I have an excess of them. And I'm like, oh, I should just use them. All right, so peel off your backings, and I could probably use my take your pick tool to get these off, but I'm just using my fingers. All right, so there we go. We've got our greeting. Let's bring in our card. That's gonna sit right here. Oh my goodness, I love it. Big hugs. Now, to make this look even prettier, we're gonna bring in some of our baker's twine, or sorry, linen thread. I don't know why I call it baker's twine. Linen thread is a must-have in your stamp room. Oh, look, and I have a bow already made. Well, look at that. I didn't even know it was in the bag. It fell out right in my hand. We're going to use it. But you can also make your, I'll show you how my favorite way, in case you've never seen me make a bow before. I got a little glue on my fingers. It's sticking. Just find the end of your linen thread, pull it off. I'm going to use the length of my glass mat. Then it does want to pop up into a circle again, like spin, because it's being wound around this cork or cardboard cylinder. So just give it just kind of run it through your fingers to get it straight again, and then you can take it and in your hands and you do 2 loops. Okay, now this linen thread somehow is a little bit stronger. I find it stronger than baker's twine. Baker's twine I tend to double up, but you can totally double up your linen thread as well. I'm just using single layer, and then I'm just making 2 loops, and then I've used a lot here. I didn't need to cut that much, but that's okay. We're just going to hold the knot and then pull it tight until you get the size bow that you want, and tighten it even more when you're happy with it. It's all about, you know, fluffing it and playing with it until you get it the way you want it. You can make really tiny bows for this too, if you wanted to. And I'm going to put that right there with a glue dot. Glue dot is definitely my choice for adhesive for any kind of bows, anything with ribbon. Now you can do two things. You can take your bow to the glue dot like that. I like to do it that way. Or you can put the glue dot down on your project and then put the bow on. It's totally up to you. And then you can also use your take your pick tool to come in here and lift up that glue dot and place it onto your project where you want it. You can also, I like to use the fine tip of my take your pick tool to come in and fluff up my bow if it's collapsed a little bit. Sometimes that happens, right? Just from playing with it, it'll not sit the way you want it, and then you can use your tool to fluff it up. And then I just like to hold the ends of my linen thread, and then you can snip the ends together like that. There we go. So we've got a nice linen bow on there. Now let's bring in the bling. The fine, it's called Purple Fine Shimmer Gems. We're going to use those on the card today. And we're going to grab, so we have multiple different colors here. Highland Heather, Gorgeous Grape, and Blackberry Bliss. Oh my gosh, so beautiful. I think I'm going to use a large one of Gorgeous Grape. Put that down here. I'm going to use all the Gorgeous Grape, I think, because I really like the Gorgeous Grape. The Highland Heather is nice too, but I really want a nice bold color on here. I'll put one there, and let's put one right here on the front label. Okay, so now let's put lids back on my take your pick tool. For the inside, you have a lot of greetings in this stamp set that will go with it. The Perennial Postage, you know, the front says big hugs, and then the inside has, oh my goodness, can't thank you enough. Happy Mother's Day. You're simply marvelous. I know you will get through this. Isn't that a nice greeting to send to someone who needs a little uplift, right? Or you could also, if you're going to order and get the free Softly Sophisticated and the folder, the embossing folder, there's some really nice greetings in here too. Big hugs, you're in my thoughts. Big hugs, I really appreciate you. I'm going to use I really appreciate you. And look at this. These are the flowers and the greenery from this set too. It's a beautiful, beautiful set, you guys. This is a wonderful one that I would highly recommend you grab for free during celebration. It is one you're going to probably keep in your collection and use a lot. So let's grab I really, really appreciate you. And let's stamp that with, I'm going to grab Gorgeous Grape and make that a little bit darker for the inside. So thick basic white is a great card base, as I've mentioned in the beginning, but you can also stamp on it, right? You don't need to have an extra layer, but if you wanted to add some DSP to the inside, you totally could. I really appreciate you. And then you could pull in some more of the lavender and do a little stamping. I always like to do a little bit of stamping on the inside. So let's do that. We'll bring in the stamps that I used on the front. We'll pull those in. We'll use Highland Heather for the background, like so. And then we will use Gorgeous Grape. I had to stop and think which one I was using. Gorgeous Grape for our accent over top. Tap, tap, tap. Now I didn't tap that off, but yes, you can see the darker piece. And then the stem was crumb cake. I got a little bit sticking out here, so we can grab that and, you know, stamp that. If I had done it a little higher, you might see a bit more of it, but we'll go ahead. Stamp the crumb cake right there. And there we have it. Now, let me just grab my chamois cloth and clean that up, because I know I just stamped on my glass mat. There we go. So there we have it, my friends. Isn't it pretty? Oh my goodness. The Softly Sophisticated with the embossing folder is so stunning. Perennial Postage is amazing. And then, of course, the images from Painted Lavender. I think you can get it all. I mean, if you bought the suite, you would qualify to get this Softly Sophisticated, right? Oh my goodness, I think you need it all. I loved making this card. It was so pretty with the background and the purples. Painted Lavender, or the Perennial Lavender Suite, is just totally making my heart happy this week. I hope you enjoyed this card. Let me flip you around. Thank you everyone who's joining. All right, I'm gonna go over and see how things are going over in the BOGO group. And thanks for all the love, you guys. I had a blast making this card with you. I mean, you could make this card with a lot of other colors as well, right? Use different designer series paper that you have in your collection, like this one back here, and then change the colors of your blooms. It's totally duplicatable. You can also change the direction of this one if you want it to be portrait, not landscape, you know, vice versa. Lots of options. I hope you like that one. Yes, Sharon, I agree. The suite is stunning. It's out of this world. I think you should grab it because I think it might sell out. You never know, right? Once people start seeing how gorgeous this is. So take care, everyone. My favorite enabler. Thank you, Maggie. I'll take that as a compliment. I wish you guys a great day. If you have any questions about anything, just send me a message. I'm happy to help you. And that will be a great suite to add to your starter kit. Just saying. I think you're going to love it. All right. Take care, everyone. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And I will see you tomorrow at the same time. All right. Have a good day. Bye-bye.